Hi everyone, my name is Michelle. In our group we have Jerry, Alexandra, and Enoch, and our project is on LeBron James. So, LeBron James is a professional basketball player currently playing for the LA Lakers. He's one of the NBA's all time leading scorers, a 4 time NBA champ, 4 time MVP, and 3 time Olympic gold medalist. So, he has a lot of different leadership experience, and over the course of his career, he's definitely shown that he's an effective leader. He's got a bunch of key leadership traits, but the four that we're going to focus on are leading by example, where he emphasizes accountability amongst himself and his teammates. He's the first to sacrifice things in order to succeed with the team, and he sets a standard for the rest of his teammates to follow. So he really leads by example. He empowers his teammates, he boosts their confidence, and he encourages them to do their best. He's adaptable. He's changed his leadership style over the course of his career to fit different teams. He's played on 3 different teams, and each team that he's played with has won championships. And a couple of other characteristics that he has is that he is self-aware, he has really strong communication skills, both on the court and off the court, and he is empathetic. So on the court, some of his communication tactics are that he tactically directs. He's constantly very verbal with his teammates, and he non-verbally signals to adjust defensive positioning in real time. There's a lot of motivational feedback. He gives instant praise or correction to his teammates and provides on current feedback to all of his team members in order to win the game or the championship or any other event that he's at. And anticipatory communication, he predicts his opponent's moves and relays that to his other teammates. So he kind of communicates in all different aspects with the rest of his team.
Okay, thanks, Michelle. And right now, let's first, I want to talk about what we call the LeBron effect. So when LeBron returned to Cleveland in the 2014 and to 2015 season, the team's total wins increased by 42. That's a huge jump. But this isn't just about scoring more points. It's really about leadership and how one player can completely change a team's performances. So, research in transformational leadership shows that strong leaders can improve team performance by increasing motivation, trust, and role clarity. So, basically, when a leader is strong, everyone else performs better too. And we can actually see this is in real life with LeBron. He doesn't just score, right? And he organizes the team, communicates constantly, and makes sure everyone understands their role. A good example in the 2018 Cavaliers, that team was not very strong at all. I mean, it kind of like sucks, and LeBron don't have the like kind of assists like Kyrie Irving, but LeBron basically carried them to the finals. People often call it a single core carry, but if you look deeper, it's not just individual skill, it's leadership. Well, he controlled the pace, directed teammates, and made everyone around him more effective. That's exactly what research describes. Leadership creates better team synergy and accountability. So this shows the leadership is not just a theory. We can actually see it in real performance outcomes. So next, I want to talk about how LeBron's role evolved over time, especially in terms of playmaking and communication. So if we look at his assists per game, we can see a clear trend. So early in his career, like with the Cavs, he averaged around 7 assists per game. But in Miami, it slightly dropped because he played in a more system-based team. They got Bosch and they also got Wade. So yeah, he dropped. But when he returned to Cleveland, it went up again. And with the Lakers, it's reached over 8 assists per game. So what does this mean? It shows a shift from being just a scholar to becoming more of a fast leader, someone who helps the entire team perform better. So, and this connects directly to communication. Research on team communication shows that effective information Sharing improves coordination and overall team performance. So in sports, passing the ball is actually a form of communication. That's for sure. Thanks for Kobe. Every assist represents a decision, a read, and trust between teammates. For example, LeBron is known for constantly talking on the court, calling plays, directing teammates, and adjusting positioning in real time, and maybe pull his son into the NBA, Lakers. He's just like a coach. So actually, his playmaking is not just about skill, it's about leadership, communication, and action. Another example in his time with the Lakers, as got older, instead of relying only on scoring, he focused more on controlling the game and involving teammates. That's why his assist number increased. Research also shows that effective leaders facilitate others' performance, not just their own. And that's exactly what we see here. So overall, this slide shows that playmaking is not just a statistic, it reflects leadership, communication, and team coordination. So overall, both slides shows the same idea. Leadership is not just about individual talent, it's about how you elevate the entire team through communication, trust, and coordination.
3 pillars of team success. For LeBron James, team success is not just about talent, but about communication and leadership. The first pillar is having a shared vision and team identity. LeBron consistently emphasizes a team-first mindset, which means making sure every player is focused on the same goal, especially winning championships. When everyone is aligned, it reduces confusion and conflict, and it helps build trust among teammates. The second pillar is communication and leadership. LeBron is known for constantly communicating on the court, whether that's calling plays, directing teammates, or giving immediate feedback during the game. This includes both verbal communication, like talking and calling out assignments, and nonverbal communication, like gestures and eye contact. In communication studies, this is important because clear messaging helps teams perform more efficiently and stay organized under pressure. The third and last pillar is role acceptance and accountability. LeBron encourages his teammates to understand their specific roles and commit to them. At the same time, he holds both himself and others accountable. This creates a culture where everyone takes responsibility for their performance. Research in team communication shows that when roles are clearly defined and reinforced through leadership, teams are more cohesive and successful. Overall, LeBron's success shows how strong communication, leadership, and shared understanding all work together to improve team performance. 2016 turning point. The 2016 NBA Finals was a major turning point in LeBron James's career, especially from a leadership and communication perspective. During this series, LeBron led the Cleveland Cavaliers to come back from a 3-1 deficit against the Golden State Warriors, which had never been done before in NBA Finals history. What stands out is not just his performance, but how he communicated with and motivated his team during high-pressure moments. LeBron kept his teammates focused and confident, even when they were close to losing the series. He used encouragement, accountability, and constant communication to reinforce the belief that they could still win. This is important in communication studies because it shows how messaging can influence group mindset and performance. He also demonstrated strong nonverbal leadership through his actions, like leading by example with his effort and composure. This helped build trust and credibility with his teammates. His communication style during this time helped unify the team and keep everyone aligned with the same goal. This moment significantly impacted his legacy because it proved that he is not only a talented athlete, but also an effective leader. It showed that communication, confidence, and team cohesion can directly affect outcomes, especially in high-stakes situations.
For our sources, the first source we have, the core theory is about team communication. So, it is from Eccles and Tenenbaum from 2004. And the source talks about how what makes teams effective. It's about, sharing knowledge, coordinating effectively, and relying on trust and understanding roles Mainly, what that means is team communication, obviously, and team coordination. Kind of like what we do in class. You kind of figure out whose strengths, who has what strengths and who has what weaknesses, and you kind of appoint them to certain positions based off that. Our second source talks about behavioral team effectiveness, and a key insight of that is real-time feedback improves learning cycles. So, you kind of have to figure out when's a good time to give feedback and criticism right then and there, which can improve the team effectiveness right there. And sometimes maybe you need to talk to them off the court one on one. The next source is called One Size Fits All, and it's about communication accommodation theory. And its insight is about that adaptability is key to effective communication. Nothing says adaptability like sports, especially basketball. You need to be able to adapt just like that to certain situations. And when everyone reacts and is on their feet and they communicate through that, that is what leads to victories, especially through basketball. Now, our fourth source is called Impact of Team Characteristics, and its core theory is social exchange theory, with the insight meaning communication impacts team effectiveness and drive. So, as I said, just to wrap everything up, communication is key, obviously, especially in sports rather, and team effectiveness and drive. Without communication, everything's gonna fall apart. Obviously, especially on offense, defense. There's a lot of chaos going around. You got to be able to talk. You know, if you're talking sports, you want people to switch. You want people to set a screen. Obviously, that matters. If there's someone setting a screen behind you, no communication, you're not going to know, and that's going to lead to losing points right there. But in a broader scheme of things, communication impacts team effectiveness and drive, of course, through motivation, through leadership, being vocal, things like that. And that's all things that LeBron embodies through his leadership. Now, we have some discussion questions as well. So our first question is going to be, how does a leader's nonverbal communication influence a team's psychological safety during high-stake moments? So now, nonverbal communication could mean body language, or any facial expressions, which are just as important on the court as well, that can give signals to players. Our second question is, in your own team experiences, have you encountered a LeBron-style leader? Was it empowering or was it more restrictive? And our third question is, can a team maintain high performance if the primary leader is absent? How does the communication change?